What's up? What's happening? What's going on, people? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Hey now, hey now, hey now. It is a Wednesday. All day. All day. All day is Wednesday. All complete day. But how we doing, people? How we doing? I've got to learn to open up my mints before I get started, so they're not rattling all over with the mic and all that. So if you're wondering what that is, I was opening up this mint. But anyway, people, how are we doing? I am making it. It was an okay day today. I can't complain too much at all. Even if I did, none of you don't sit there and be go, oh, listen, Rev. No, you won't. None of you would listen. Not one of you would give me the time of day. Y'all know that as well as I do. Because you got problems yourself. You're not going to drop your problems and come over here and be like, the healthcare system. I'm going to bring it down. Friday, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. The healthcare system in America is probably the worst. I got a bill. I'm going to show you. I should have brought it down here, but I'm going to show you guys on Friday. I got a bill today. And I'm not joking when I say this. That's why I said I should have brought it down here. I wasn't thinking like always. But I should have brought the bill down so I can show you exactly. I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. But I got a bill today for 1 month. For 1 month of dialysis treatment for $138,362. 1 month. I'm not kidding you. I'm being dead serious. I got that on today. The healthcare system. I got my doctor that I see him once a month. And I'm not joking when I say this. If he is in my face for 15 minutes, that it's a record. He comes in, he goes, "How you doing?" He says, "I looked at your labs and they're still stable." Then he says, "Let me check your feet." So he checks my feet and everything, because one of the things when your kidneys are completely fail, your feet start swelling like you wouldn't believe. I'm not kidding when I say this. I'm just telling you. So that's one of the things that he has to do. So he checks my feet, checks, he does, they put their little, get up on, and then they go and they test your, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Then he looked over my chart again, and then he's out 14 minutes. About 14 minutes. It took him to do everything that he's going to do, ask me questions, ask me how I'm doing. We go over the tiredness, because you get tired. That's one of the things with dialysis. Boy, you get tired. I get poop tired. Man, I'm not the nap. I'm not the one in the house that usually would take a nap. My wife takes naps all the time. All the time. But now I take naps. But anyway, for this doctor to come in once a month, $842. And I see him less than 15 minutes. But I have to pay this dude $800 to see him for 15 minutes once a month. The healthcare system in America is pathetic. I can tell you that firsthand. I can tell you that firsthand. I have to get labs every single month. Every single month, I have to go in, and they have to draw blood and all this here other type of stuff that they have to do. $700. True story. True story. The healthcare system is one of the worst systems that we have. And there's nothing we can do about it. There is nothing we can do about it, because people don't want to say, okay, you know what? Let's just have free healthcare. Everybody get free healthcare, right? We don't want to do that. Our elderly, this is one of the things that like I said, I you know me, if people, a lot of people who have met me and who has off of here, who said, you know, Rev, I want to go sit and meet with you and talk with you. Y'all know me. I like to talk to people. I do. I like to interject with people. I like to hear what's going on in your life, right? And I picked that up because, you know, I do have a bachelor's degree in theology. And in that class, we had to learn to listen. I mean, they basically, in one of my theology classes that I took, you learn to read. They basically teach you to read people, right? And that's what I do. And I love to sit and I love to talk to people because I like to read them, right? Just to see what type of people they are. But we are at a point now where you've got elderly people, like I said before, that are about to lose their homes because of health care, because they're being taxed out of their home. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. I said it Monday night that you have elderly. I believe if you've been in your house for over 15 years, you're elderly, and you don't want to leave your house, you shouldn't be forced to leave your house. You shouldn't be forced to leave your house because of health issues that, you know, you're sitting here going, okay, like I said, that bill we just got, the bill that we just got, I don't have the money for that. I do not have the. It's just pathetic, man. It blows my mind that you have to make a choice. Do I not pay this but pay my mortgage? Do I not eat and eat? Back in the day, they used to always talk about how elderly people was eating cat food and all this here type of stuff because they couldn't afford to eat. And no one really cared about them once they get to a certain age. I think enough of that has went on, because when I talk to the elderly people, that's the biggest thing that they're afraid of. They're afraid of losing their homes. Like he said, the guy that I talked to had been in his house. He basically grew. His mom and dad had the house, and then when they passed, he got the house. And he's about to lose his house because he can't afford to stay there because of the taxes on the house and him having to pay for his health insurance, a lady to come in and take care of him and all this here. But he can get around, just fine. He just can't go get a job. Like he said, if he could go, he said, if I can go work at a place like Home Depot, he said, I would do that and that would help me, but I can't do that. But because we are so dependent on those people at the Capitol to make laws and this and that, and we're so into this, oh, you got to be a Republican or you got to be a Democrat, we will suffer. No. Think about it for a second. I know sometimes I say things and it pisses people off, but if you stop for 5 seconds and you think about some of the things that I say sometimes, you're going to sit there and go, yeah, he is right. I'm still pissed at him, but he's kind of right. We've got people who are just as flawed as we are, but we put more into them than they put into us. You've got this guy who has, what I see, a beautiful, beautiful family. Beautiful family. What do you have? 4 kids, a wife. I'm sure he had a really, really nice house because he said he had his own business. And then he goes out and he decides to solicit an underage teenager. The Bible says that it's better for you to put a millstone around your neck than to mess up one of these kids' mindset. I'm just throwing out, what the Bible says. Sometimes, that book that we all believe in, that book that we all say we have faith in, that book that we all call ourselves living by, sometimes that book gets missed. And the things in that book, when you start telling people what it says in that book, they get mad at you. People get upset. Because you're telling them about that very book. That's why one of the reasons why churches grew, I'm going to tell you why churches grew, these mega churches. Because the mega churches was promising people glorious things. That's what a mega church do. You come and let me preach to you. I'm going to tell you about yourself. That's why people decide to leave the church. No, God never said you was going to be rich. God never said you was going to have all a BMW or nice. He never said that. But what he did say, that if you do what he asked you to do, that you will be prosperous. That's what he said. He didn't say we was going to have all of this here and all of that and riches. Never said that. I will never preach to somebody that they're going to be rich. I will never preach to somebody. If you sit here and you send me a tithe of $10, that's going to come back to you 50-fold. Never preach that. But what I will preach is your grace and the mercy that God puts on us. What I will preach to you is the one that you have to go. The Bible tells us, Jesus says, you tell me your problems, I'll go tell the Father, because the Father will do what I ask him to do. That's what I'm going to tell you. When you get in trouble, go see Jesus. I'm not saying money is going to be the root to everything that goes on. Oh, you're in trouble with the IRS? You need a lot of money. Go pray on your money. No, go to Jesus. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. Because I prayed many times to be rich. My wife and I have stood over some of our bills and paid and prayed. And then the week after that, that same bill is in our mailbox. That same bill is in our mailbox. I thought we prayed on this bill. This bill's supposed to be, that's not, I don't know who told you it worked. It doesn't work like that. But we all make mistakes. We all do things that are wrong. And we all are sinners. Now, I know I posted a little bit on the guy and what he did today. I did. But I did it because I want people to realize that we all are sinners. If I got on here, I would have to start, to get Alpha here by 8 o'clock, I would have to start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon telling you the things that I've done in my life as a sinner. I've never been in the closet about that. I've said over and over, I drank like you wouldn't believe. I drove while I drank. I was one of the biggest womanizers running around here. I did it all. I didn't fall short of doing nothing. Like I told you, I tried to out-devil the devil. Name something. Seriously, name something. Because you're probably going to, Rev did it. Rev did. There was a time that I was a hellion. I was. Until I decided to give my complete life, not half of it, not a little bit of it, not a drop of it, but everything about me to God. That's what changed my life. That's what turned me around. That's what kept me out of the streets and doing the things that I was doing. You want to see a blessing? No, trust me. You want to see a blessing? You're looking at one. You're looking at one. And I believe that's the reason God did what he did for me. He let me go do certain things. I look at it just like the woman at the well. Jesus was not supposed to be talking to that woman at the well. But he told her everything about her. And what did she do? She ran off and told everybody. I met this dude at the well. Look, there's something different about this one. This one that I met at the well ain't like all the other ones who come preaching to us. Him different. Same here. The one that I met in my living room almost 16 years ago, when I dropped to my knees and couldn't stop crying. That one that I prayed to. That one. I'm going to pray for this man. And I'm going to pray for his family. And I'm going to ask each and every one of you too. Because what his wife and his kids are about to go through, I feel bad for the family. I do. And we will on our Sunday devotion that we have, my wife and I, we will pray for this man because he's about to go through hell. And like the Bible say, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Now, he got the devil in him. I know about a little bit about that too. But prayer works, people. No, listen to me when I say this. Prayer works. And whomever is in his corner, whoever is coaching him, I know the Republicans look at it and go, well, we got to stay as far away from this dude as we possibly can. I understand that. But, somebody was his friend. Somebody was his friend. And somebody should reach out to his family and pray with his family. Period, point blank. So that's all I got to say about the senator who was caught soliciting a underage female. It's ugly and it's nasty. But I'm going to say this here. Even him, we have to pray for him. And we have to pray for his family. Because his kids didn't do this and his wife didn't do this. And they're going to need people in their corner. And I hope and pray that she has her family and even his family steps up to the plate and try to help her through this painful, painful situation. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. We're gonna leave that one alone from this point on. So whatever happens, happens. I ain't got nothing else to say about it. I will not be tweeting about it anymore. It's done. But we do need to have a conversation about public funds going to these stadiums. No. Nope. Nope. And no. No. I don't need, I've never, that, what is it, XL Center? I've never been, as long as that building has been there, I have never been in that building. And if it wasn't for my grandson and them loving monster trucks, well, I blame that on my grandkids, but I kind of like monster trucks too. But if it wasn't for them, I would have never went to that bird killing U.S. Bank Stadium that they put down there. There would be no reason for me to go there. Not even to watch a Viking Packer game. I pay all that money to go watch that. But because my grandkids, I have to go down there because that's where they have the monster trucks. So, but as far as the XL Center, I've never been in that building. Ever. I don't know how long that building been here. It's been here for a long time, right? I've never been in a building. So why would I want to pay for something that I don't use? Why would I want my tax dollars to go to something? No, man. No, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling paying to renovate nothing. I don't go watch hockey. I've never been to a hockey game. I watch it on TV and try to understand it. Try to know why this dude get to jump out off the bench and just glide on the floor and try to figure out what an offsides is. But I don't watch it. I don't go to the building. I ain't paying for it. So the answer to that, no. And if the owner sit there and be like, "Oh, we gonna pull a North Star on you," say la vie, see ya, appreciate you. I can see. Oh, hold on now. I can see if they was winning. I can see if a cold state won the Stanley Cup before a warm state, Florida. I can see if that. Then I'll be like, you know what? Yeah. But what they win? What have the whole time they've been here? How many times have Tampa won the championship? No. See ya. Peace. Matter of fact, take the Wolves with you. If hockey's gonna leave, take the Wolves with you. You can lead the Vikings because I need somebody to argue with. Got to lead the Vikings. You can leave the Twins because I love going watching some baseball. I love watching baseball. I love especially since they built that stadium and now they don't play in that diaper building. Because that was a shock to me. So when I moved here from Anaheim, California, and I lived literally walking distance to the stadiums. So what we would do is we would wait until, the game started. And then probably the bottom of the second is when we would go and buy a ticket. Because by that time, everybody's already settled down and then there's seats open. So we would buy nosebleed seats and be able to sit down in the bowl. And that's an outdoor stadium. Then I moved here, and you're at the Metrodome. And I'm sitting there going, this isn't baseball. How in the world can you even get used to going into the Metrodome and watching? It just didn't. And now they got this boy. Every chance we get, we go. But no, we're not. No, there's no more funding. There is no more funding. Well, if the Democrats hadn't blown the $18 billion, then maybe we would have had something to give them. But because the Democrats decided that they were going to do what they wanted to do. Let me make sure y'all understand what I just said. The Democrats decided to do what they wanted to do. Therefore, not working with the people. They didn't. The Democrats didn't work with the people. That's why we're in That's why we're in the. We have the problems that we have now, and that's why we got a governor who's called himself running around America, trying to feel out if he should run. I think he should run. I think he should run. Go ahead, brother. I think he should run for to be president. I think he should run to be president. Go on and do something and go on out of Minnesota. But here we are having all these here problems, and he's running around the country. Call himself. He's running around the country. Call himself exploring if he should run for president. I think he should run. I think he should go on about his business, or go wherever else he want to go, and be good. Dude asked a question. He says, where did all the money from e-pull tabs go? That's a good question. Why can't we take that money from e-pull tabs and pay for the stadium? And then they were saying that they may up the taxes on cigarettes. Go for it. I don't smoke. Go for it. I'm good. If that's what you want to use to pay for the stadium, go for it. Cool with me. Yeah. E-pull tabs and taxes on cigarettes. There we go. Done. That's simple. That's how we do this. That's how we do this. And that came from the people. See, that's what I'm talking about. asking the people what they want, and then the people tell you, and then you go and you implement that. That's how government should work. Government should not work where you take $750 million to build yourself a palace. That's what the Democrats did. They took your money and said, we want better offices, we want this, and they got it. That's what the Democrats did. They didn't do what we wanted. It wasn't the will. I keep telling y'all, everybody get pissed at me when I say this. This has never been the will of the people. It's whatever they want. They come and tell you, I'm going to work. I want to send me to the Capitol to work for you. I don't want you working for me. I don't. If you want to hang out with me, then we're going to work together. If I can't work with you, then I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. Right? The same thing with me. Everybody, dude said to me about 6 months ago, he said, Rev, you always talking. You always running off at the mouth. You always got this idea, and you got this, and you this and this and this. He says, well, why don't you do something? Okay. Brad comes to me and we sit down, and Brad says, you know what? I want to run for governor. I said, okay. He goes, but I need a lieutenant governor to run with me. I said, okay, well, let's go find somebody. We was in the sandwich shop. And he goes, no, I want you to run with me. And I'm like, well, Brad, there's a few things that you and I got to talk about when it comes to me. Then I said, okay. Because dude said to me, why don't you do something? You got these ideas. You talk about this. You got run on off at the mouth about that. You always got this to say about this. You got that to say about you. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And things are going to kick off here pretty soon with Brad. I went on vacation. Brad's is going to go on vacation to get his mind right so we can take off and get this thing done. And then after that, we're on the campaign trail. We're going city to city talking to people, because we really honestly want to hear what the people of Minnesota have to say. When I'm having my Saturday morning breakfast as lieutenant governor, sitting in a spot, which I will do every single Saturday, you will be able to come and sit and talk to me. I will listen to what the people of Minnesota has to say. And then that is what we're going to do. It's not going to be a time where can you even reach out and say anything to Peggy Fleming? Can you, no, seriously, can you talk to your lieutenant governor right now? Probably not. Can you talk to your governor of this state? Probably not. That's not working with the people. And you guys are so used to that. That's the thing that gets me. You're so used to not these people telling you what you're going to take versus them asking you, what do you need? That's the difference. That's where it's going to stop. It's what do you need? But that's one of the things that I promise. Every single Saturday, there's going to be a spot in Minnesota I am going to be. And you're going to be able to come in and go, what's happening, Rev? What's going on? Here is my gripe. Here is what I told you. I met with a guy last week, right? Right there in Eden Prairie. I mean, was it? Yeah, Eden Prairie. Right there in Eden Prairie. I drove to Eden Prairie. Okay. White guy. For those who always like to count when I talk to people. And like I said, that's the guy I told you had the 2 autistic kids. And come to find out, he had reached out to all of these here senators and and they treated him like crap. They didn't get back to him. They didn't talk to him. It's that guy is the type of people that I want my door open to. If you got a problem like he has a problem, I want to help him solve his problem. But in order for me to do that, I've got to hear him. And I don't want to just be like Peggy. If you want Peggy, you have to email her. And then she has to decide if she wants to get back to you. And if she don't want to, guess what? She won't. Well, you want to talk to me? I told you I love breakfast. I love breakfast. Well, I'm going to be in St. Paul. I'll be at the Keys Cafe from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Meet me there. I'll be down in Edina at an eatery, breakfast eatery. Meet me there. That's what has to happen, because when it's all said and done, like I said before, and I'll say it over and over and over, I'm waiting for someone to prove me wrong. If I'm going to live my life by the Bible, I'm going to read the Bible and I'm going to hear what it says. What my Bible tells me, and again, this is what I say. My Bible tells me that we have to be about the people. I've got to be about you. Read your Bible. There's nowhere in that Bible where it tells me that I got to be a Republican, I got to be a Democrat, I got to be an independent, I got to be a libertarian. There's nowhere in that Bible, but what that Bible tells me is I have to be for the people. And if we get back, hold on, if we get back to that, I believe we as a people can make a difference here in Minnesota, and we can turn back. And that's everybody. That's trans people. That's people who have, with Jack and Mike together, and all everybody. I'm not leaving nobody out. But here is what I'm saying to you. Until we get Minnesota the way it's supposed to, because somebody asked me this question. Nobody else is coming here. All these libertarian churches who's bringing all these, y'all gonna cut it out because you ain't getting the money to do it. You're not. No, hold on now. I'm don't sit here and be like, well, Rev, that's kind of rude. No, it's not rude. Because I got veterans right now out in the streets that I'm going to make sure get taken care of before anybody else comes here to Minnesota, and we're spending money, housing, and everything else on. We got a bonehead up in St. Cloud trying to get $5 million to bring Africans here for an African village. I got a problem with that. I know I've got not bringing people here, but we got to get Minnesota under control before we bring anybody else here. Nobody else is coming here until we get Minnesota under control. Until I know that the people of Minnesota are set and we can move forward, that we can put jobs in certain places for people to have jobs. We can bring some of this crime down. We can bring some of this shooting down. We can help our farmers. We can get these farmers to where they're making a living and they're feeding Minnesotans. Until that happens, nobody else comes here. I'll turn the damn planes around. Y'all think I'm joking. I am not joking. I've thought about this. This isn't This isn't just a fairy dream. I've thought about this. Where are we falling short? Because we're trying to help everybody. I got Ilhan Omar talking about writing a bill to make sure people come here to Minnesota, and she ain't done a damn thing for Minnesota. No. She will be in my office and me looking her in her face saying, "Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to. If you don't you dare leave my office and go out and get in front of a microphone and run off at the mouth about immigrants coming here to Minnesota until we get Minnesota set. You get over there and get your people in line, because your people stealing money. Your people have ripped off the state of Minnesota like none other. Your people got found guilty just today. That one, I'm going to have to sit her down for a minute. Because she'd been doing too much, but not enough right here in Minnesota. Get your people in line, and then we're going to be all right. Same thing with my people. I'm pulling the black caucus in my office. I need you to get them in line right now. I don't want to hear about them up here fighting over little scraps of money that you're putting out to nobody. That ain't happening. See, the problem is we don't have people in charge. The problem is we don't have people in charge that's willing to step on some toes. We don't have people in charge that's willing to say. We're letting these people run around here doing these things, and it's pathetic. I'm just like Melvin Carter. He coming to my office too. Come on in here, boy. No, have a seat, Mr. Melvin Carter. We're putting shot spotters in your community. Because things are going on over there that you're hiding from your people. They think they're safe and they're not. Those are things that needs to be done. Jacob Fry, come in my office. Here is what we're doing. The problem is we don't have people in office that's willing to do what's right and start stepping over there. You gonna get pissed at me? Hey, that's fine. I'm good. As long as we're cleaning this stuff up, just like the people down there in all these homeless camps. If you ain't from Minnesota, you going back to where you from. You from Maple Grove? Get it going. No, I'm serious, man. You Maple Grove kicked you out of somewhere? Go set up a tent in Maple Grove and see what they do. And if you come back to Minneapolis, guess what? I'm charging Maple Grove for you being here. That will clear half of those homeless camps out of there. We've got to start. Listen, people, we've got to start doing things different. Y'all want this place cleaned up? You want a good place for your grandkids and your kids, and even for yourself? You want to be able to go back downtown just like downtown, just like that. Hey, Rev, how would you clean up downtown? You know that National Guards that we got? Boop. There you go. The National Guards will be downtown Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We will clean that up. The National Guards, full military. That place will look like Minneapolis will look like a third world country. You ever go to Mexico? And they're driving around. I mean, Their police drive around in military vehicles. They're walking around with their AK-47 strapped to the front of them. I'm not here for play, people. You say, if y'all give me the opportunity to clean this place up. See, the difference between me and everybody else, I'm in the streets. I know what's going on. So when you put somebody else up there, they're guessing on what should be done. They're guessing on how they should do things. They're guessing on what they should do next. I already know because I'm doing it right now. So I look at it this way. Why don't you give somebody a chance who knows the streets, who knows how to do things, who know how to deal with multiple personalities of people? Why can't I have the same opportunity you give somebody? Mr. Man was a school teacher. Hold on. Now let's make sure we understand this here. I would think, just my thought. Maybe it's nobody else's thought. Just my thought. I would think that a school teacher would focus on what he knows, which is the schools. I would think that he would come in and go, I know this about the schools, this about the schools, this about the schools. So I'm going to take what I know and I'm going to clean it. This man has done nothing for the schools. Well, the kids got free lunch. And hold on. Let me. I know everybody getting mad at the free lunch thing. I'm just not. I'm not. And I'm going to tell you a story real quick. So the wife and I got a call from somebody, and they said, well, can you go and sit and talk to and help this couple in Medina? Rich Medina. Trust me when I say this. Okay, fine. So we go out, we meet the couple, and we drive up to the house. Beautiful house. Beautiful. $600,000-$700,000. Easy. F-150 sitting in the driveway with a really nice Tahoe also. So I'm sitting there going, I don't even know what we're doing here. But anyway, come to find out, they had almost lost everything. Pretty much lost everything. To the point that where they did not have money for their kids to eat at school. So their kids wasn't eating at school. Because number one, they didn't have the money. But here's the other reason, which is kind of sad. Because they didn't want the other kids talking about them. They did not eat at school. Now, if they had free lunch, every kid, you don't know which kid is poor and which kid isn't poor. So I'm about feeding the kids. Period, point blank. So y'all can get mad at me because Walls and them did the free lunch thing if you want. I'm all 110% behind it. I said, let's go with it. That's fine. If y'all want to be really mad at something, why don't you be mad at these Republicans who fought tooth and nail to make sure that you can fold a kid up like a pretzel? You want to be mad at something? Be mad at that. Be mad, because I was very, very pissed at that. That the so-called Republicans wanted to treat our kids in school, like they're criminals. Want to treat our kids, my kids, ones that look like me. That's what the Republicans did. Yeah, they did. Don't sit there and act like they didn't. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're here in Minnesota, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, hey, so let's rip it up. There's been a lot of talk about something that Don Lemon said. And I'm going to agree I understand what Don said. For those who don't know, he was talking about black MAGA, right? These black people who run around here calling themselves MAGA, right? I understand what Don said. I do. And the reason I understand is because, like I said before, when I ended up leaving the Democratic Party, well, I left the Republican Party, went to the Democrats, left the Democrats, went back to the Republicans, left the Republic. Yeah, I bounce around. I've been bouncing around for years until I ended up with the Tea Party. And I thought they were the best thing that was ever. I just call myself a Tea Party. I call myself a patriot. This was back in the days when I was calling myself a patriot. So Don Lemon was talking about these black people who run around here talking about MAGA this and MAGA that and all this here type of stuff. And I totally agree with him. They're frauds. Let me show you. Hold on. Before y'all get mad and everybody cut me off and all of a sudden my numbers start dropping. So you have these people who decided to go. Well, Donald Trump invited them to the White House for Black History Month, right? And I know this one I know for a fact. I know this for a fact. We have someone who he's black here in Minnesota that went to the White House, okay, to celebrate Black History Month, and you would swear up and down he wasn't black, but he went to the White House. The problem that black people, foundational black Americans, ADOSs, have with that situation is the so-called black MAGA, or black people who were at the White House, are not affiliated with the black community. That's pretty much where Don is coming from. And I understand that. You got a guy, Rod Smith. I don't know how many of you guys follow him. Rod Smith ain't did nothing, ain't never going to, ain't thinking about anything about the black community. But he runs off at the mouth about black people like crazy. That's why black people were so mad at Candace Owens. Like I told y'all, I approached Candace. When Candace Owens came here to Minneapolis, I got the picture. I can post it and show you. I had my card, and I handed my card to Candace Owens. I looked her dead in her face, and I asked her to come walk around Minneapolis so I can show her the black people that she's talking about, the very black communities that she never come in, but yet she stomps on. That is what Don Lemon is talking about. We don't mind you. I don't care. You can be black MAGA all you want. Like I said, I call myself a patriot. I was a Tea Party patriot like you wouldn't believe, man. I bought into that. I bought into that like y'all buying into this MAGA thing. I was, yep. I was cultish. I believed everything the Tea Party was saying. I went through that whole mindset of, government this and the whole nine, dude. I'm telling you, I did. I bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. So what's going on? People act like I don't get it. No, I get it. I get that because I was one of them. I was. But here's the difference between myself being a patriot, a Tea Party patriot at the time, and the black MAGAs. The black MAGAs have nothing to do with the community. They're just they found a wave, and they're trying everything they possibly can do to monetize off of their newfound get up. Everybody wants to be a Candace Owens. Everybody wants to go over to the Republican side and hope to get that bag, in hopes that y'all white people are going to like them enough that they end up like a Rod Smith. They end up like a Candace Owens. They end up like, I'm trying to think, that other black dude that's out there running off at the mouth, that every time you turn around they're sticking a mic in his face. They all trying to catch that wildfire that's out there. They're trying to catch where is the dollar going to be? They all trying to be the C.J. Pearson. How do I turn this into a bag? How do I turn this into money? If I'm up on level 10 of being a MAGA, a black MAGA, and I talk about the Democrats, how I left the play, because they love that. Right? Hold on. Let me be a black MAGA for a second. You tell me if I got this right. I left the plantation, them damn Democrats. That's all they ever want to do is use black people. I've been used enough, and now I'm for the Republicans. I've walked off the plantation. I know that the Democrats ain't never done. I realize that they are now what you look back the days, and they are the real KKK, right? That's exactly what black MAGA does. That's all you have to do is put down the Democrats. Say the main thing, though, you got to say, I left the plantation. I ain't no slave no more. Not to the Democratic Party. I told y'all a while ago, and I'm not kidding. When I first hit, I was offered money. I was offered money, and I'm not kidding. I'm telling you straight up. I was offered money, not only money, but I was offered my own show on a radio station. But I couldn't do what they wanted me to do. There's no, God knows, I could not do what they wanted me to do. I could not tap dance. I used to be on a, if y'all, come on, remember? There's a show I used to be on. Think about it. Wonder why he ain't on that. Because again, here is what I won't do for the Democratic Party. I will not play a victim. I will not be the black victim. I will not do it. You know what I won't do for the Republican Party? I won't sit here and dog my community. If y'all don't think I could make money off of just doing this here and talking to people, I could have made a lot of money. And I'm not kidding when I say that. That is the honest truth. But I would have to not be me. As long as I wasn't me, they would have picked me. But the problem is I honestly couldn't do it. So you don't hear me on the radio station no more, do you? I've had people on my Twitter going, hey, Rev, when the next time you going to be on blah, blah, blah show, or blah, blah, blah show? Can't, because I disagree with some of the things that they have to say. And if you disagree, ain't happening. You don't get on the same thing with black radio. Y'all don't hear me on black radio. I've said this over and over. I'm not on black radio because you don't hear me talking about white supremacy. You don't hear me talking about being a victim. You don't hear me talking about the white man did this to me and the white man did that to me. You don't hear me saying that type of stuff. Do I talk about racism? Sure I do. When you show me something racist, I'll post it. Y'all know that. It pisses you off, but I do it anyway. But I'm not running around with my race card out all the time. That's why you don't hear me on black radio. Seriously. Go to black radio. Listen to the people on black radio. Listen what they talk about all damn day. You don't hear them talking about the black people shooting each other in the community. If they do, they're on the back half of that, it's going to be, oh, it's because of white supremacy that we got all these little black boys running around sticking their little wee-wee in these here little girls, and all these little girls are getting pregnant and having abortions. You don't hear that on black radio. That's why they don't want me on black radio, because they know I'm going to talk about that. They know I'm going to talk about the things that's in the black community. They know that. And I'm not going to hold back. They be like, no, we don't want that Negro. That nigga, he's too real. We don't want real Negroes on our show, on both sides. On both sides. Like, there's two Negroes that be on white radio all the time. Y'all know who they are. There's a reason they are on white radio. Because they say exactly what white radio wants them to say. Y'all know I ain't going to do that. Y'all know I'm not going to do that. That's why y'all don't hear me on certain shows anymore. That's why I got my own thing. I don't know how big this is. You know, I average what, 600-700 people, you know, on Twitter, and, you know, a couple hundred more on, and that's cool with me. Because if you go look at my Twitter and you go look at the people who follow me, most people who follow me have under 600 people. I don't have a following where these you know, people got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. Everything I've ever done has been grassroots. This is totally grassroots. You don't hear me out here saying, "Oh my God, I only need 13 more people to be at, you know, 15,000, 20,000 and all." I ain't begging nobody. There is not one person on my Twitter right now that you can go on and say, "Hey, did Rev ask you to come here?" I have never asked anybody. If you're with me right now, is because you want to be here. And just like I said, and if I've said something to piss you off, you don't have to announce that you're leaving. Leave like you came. I didn't know you came. You didn't announce that you came. If I piss you off, leave the same way. But everything we've done here has been totally, totally grassroots. All the people who follow me, grassroots, didn't ask. Y'all came and hang out because y'all want to hang out. And we can come over here and have a good time. And I enjoy each and every one of you. But I understand what Don Lemon was saying, and that's pretty much what Don was saying. If you're going to go to the White House, go up there with a reason. Go up there saying, you know what, I'm going to hand somebody a note to say, can you find a way or make something happen or do something to help us with the black killings in the black community? I'm going to hand somebody a note. I'm going up there thinking I've got to do something to help my community. All these little black girls is having all these here babies, and these black are 13, 14, and 15 years old. We need some help. We don't have jobs in the inner city for these little black boys and girls, and during the summer like the white kids do out in their area. I go out in that area during the summer, all these little white kids working all these here fast food and convenience stores. You don't have that in the inner city. So these kids can't get a job. They can't get. How do we make that? I'm going to hand somebody a note at the White House. I'm not just going there so I can take pictures and be in front of a camera and all this here. No. There's a reason. There's an issue. That's why they will never invite somebody like me to the White House, because I'm not going up there for play. I'm not going up there. I'm not leaving Minnesota, taking pictures on the plane, getting to the White House. I take pictures at the White House. take a picture on a plane on the way back from the White House. And I've never done nothing for the people that I should be representing going up there. I leave here from Minnesota. You put me on a plane, I go up there to the White House. Oh yeah, I'm speaking on my people. Because we're in some serious danger right now. We are. So it kind of pissed me off when I saw this one, who has never done anything for the black community, who have nothing to do to the black, don't even associate with the black. When he's getting on a plane going to the White House from Minnesota, knowing what's going on here, knowing the volatile situation with the police, with the community, with things that go on, and you're going to the White House on Black History Month, and you ain't never done nothing. I understand what Don Lemon is saying. Black MAGA don't represent black people. They don't. They don't. Look at the black people who went up there, who was in those photos. Pick them out. Ask them what they have done. They couldn't. There's not one person in that room. Probably one. Mark Carter from Chicago. I think Mark Carter from Chicago went and Chicago Red. Okay, two people. Chicago Red and Mark Carter is probably the only two that deserve. Oh, no, King Randall. Sorry. So King Randall is a young man who has a school for black kids, and he's doing awesome things, right? Chicago Red and Mark Carter are two people who saying we're tired of what the Democrats are doing here in Chicago. We need to make a difference for the killings and everything. So 3. Of all them black people that was up there, call themselves MAGA, I'm going to tell you 3 that I know for a fact I would say had a right to be there. But the dude who was here in Minnesota, who left Minnesota going to the White House, had no business being there. He had no business being at the White House. Not on Black History Month. None. If you're gonna go up and rep the black community on Black History Month, and you ain't never been in the black community, and you don't never do nothing for the black community, you's a fool. You's a fake, phony fool. Let me make sure y'all understand what I said. A fake, phony fool. So Don Lemon was dead on the money. Don Lemon was right. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, pull up Bill Maher and Don Lemon and listen to what Don Lemon had to say about the black MAGA. Because they ain't doing nothing. They don't represent black people. They don't represent me. There was only 3 there, I would say, represent me. And the one who left here from Minnesota and went to the White, he definitely don't represent me at all. I've said that to his face. They say what I'm saying right now is not something that I have never said to him. He knows that. He knows that. He knows. I don't say nothing in public about somebody that I ain't willing to say to their face, or I have not said to their face. I ain't scared of nobody. And especially when I'm right. And I'm right about this. So when y'all see these black people right around here with these MAGA hats on, they're looking for a bag. They're looking for a lick. They're looking to get on. That's exactly what they did. That everybody thinks that it's easy to be what's her name? How did I forget? Easy to be Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the standard stick what every black MAGA is trying to get. Because if you notice, no, seriously, you got to watch them because they're over the top. They're over the top. You had a dude running around here. Think about this I want you to think about this for a second. Think about what I'm about to say. Because no other ethnic group, no other race would do this but mine. You had a dude with a shirt that said "Niggas for Trump." Did you not? Y'all saw that. A lot of y'all probably saw that. Niggas for Trump. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. And he made a pretty good penny off the shirts, off the name, off his name, and the whole nine. They have to be up here. And if you, like I said, the main thing about them is they have to say derogatory things about black people. They have to put black people down. And they just have to be obnoxious. That's how you become a black MAGA. And half of them, if you put a mic in their face, couldn't even tell you any of his policies. They don't care. That's not what this is about. It's about they have jumped on a wagon. And if it pays off, it pays off. If it pays off, it pays. There's a dude that I follow on Twitter. Damien, Reverend Damien. And Reverend Damien calls himself a Republican now. But his whole stick is being a antagonistic, right? It's what the things that he say, it's to rile up people. It's not to bring people together. It's to rile them up. Right? He'll find something about black people and he'll post it, knowing it's going to piss black people off, but knowing white people are going to come on there and go, "You're right, you're good, you're right." It's that type of stuff that Don Lemon is talking about. It's how black people do things, how these black MAGAs are moving. Because this is what I can guarantee you. I guarantee you, I can promise you this, that if reparations was to be, they would be right back on the Democratic side like that. Like that. It don't take anything to get them over. It'll take a check. They wouldn't be MAGA that much longer. That's a promise. So I'm just throwing that out there. I like I said, I saw that happening with Don. That Don was talking about it, and I was like, okay, if you're going to talk about it, let me explain it to people, because I know a lot of people won't understand. So all these black MAGAs that's running around here acting like, what the way they're acting, it's a farce. It's a charade. It's a lie. No ifs, no ands, no buts. I'll even go as far as to say, I don't believe some of them even voted. I don't believe some of them even voted for Donald Trump. I do believe they're out here just in name only, because it looks good. It does. It does. You're a group of, but if the Tea Party had done right, this is what I believe. Because a lot of black people, when the Tea Party was going, was like, yeah, man. Yeah, Rev, I get it. I get it. A lot of black people was doing that. But then let me say this here, and then I'm going to be done for the night because I'm 14 minutes over. Black people are truly conservative, just downright, outright. If the Republican Party had said, we're going to do everything we could do to lift you guys up to a level of being Americans, we would be Republicans right now. We would still be my grandfather died My grandfather died a Republican. He never made the switch. I've got uncles that are still Republican. They never made the switch. When I first voted, I was a Republican. Black people are conservative groups of people. If you give us what we need, leave us the hell alone, we can make things happen. We can live on that whole plane of being conservative. That's what we are. We started off that way. We will always, it doesn't matter what the Democrats say, but the Democrats came along and said, let us help you. When you can't get it, just like my grandfather, like I said, there's a reason I'm a Packer fan. I know everybody was always sitting there going, well, you're in Minnesota. Why are you Packer fan? Because my grandfather had to go up to Wisconsin to get a job because down south they wouldn't hire him. And he'd bring paper helmets home. Green Bay Packers. Now, if we was down south and the Republicans said, we're going to help these black people get themselves up. So my grandfather wouldn't have, when he did get a job and he was down there protesting for the garbage men before Dr. King got shot, if the Republicans would have said, you know what, equal pay for the black garbage men. There's a lot of things the Republicans could have done. Republicans could have said, we're going to fight to make sure that on Wednesdays, on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursday, and Fridays, black people can go to the zoo. Because in Memphis, Tennessee, when I was born, black people can only go to the zoo on Wednesdays. Let's say a Republican would have stepped up and said that. Let's say a Republican would have stepped up and fought for black people to sit at the same counter as white people. Let's say a Republican would have fought to say we could ride in the front of the bus. Let's say Republicans would have stepped up and said that when my mom and dad was dating, they didn't have to go to the balcony. They could have sat at the front. Let's say a Republican would have stepped up then. Do you think there would have been a difference? See, we don't think like that. This is why I keep telling y'all. Sometimes, give me a minute, and I'll explain it to you. Let's say a Republican would have fought and said, all those water hoses that have been shot on black people, the dogs that was biting black people, when they came over to Edmund Pettus Bridge and when they was beating down black people. Let's say a Republican would have stepped up and voiced their opinion. Do you think black people would have been Democrats then? Now, seriously, I'm asking a simple question. Do you think black people would have been Democrats? I don't think so. If the Republican Party, who had all the black people at that time, they were Republicans. Look it up. I'm not telling you something you can't look up. If the Republicans would have fought for my grandfather having a job in Memphis, Tennessee, instead of going up south, do you think they would have been? If the Republicans would have fought that we could have drank out of the same water fountain as white people, do you think? That we could have used the same bathroom. Do you think that black people would have been Republicans? But the Republicans didn't do that. The Republicans said we would rather for you to not drink out of our water fountain. The Republicans said we would make sure that you don't swim in the swimming pool. We will fill those with concrete. The Republicans said, no, you can't drink. You can't eat at the same table with me. The Republicans say we don't want you in the same movie, in the same area, in the theaters. That's what they said. That's what they said. The Republicans said Wednesdays is the only day you get to go to the Memphis Zoo. The Republicans said when I was born, I had to be down on the bottom level. I could not be up with the white kids. That's what they said. Prove me wrong, people. Anything, I tell people all the time, anything I say, if you want to dispute it, I'll give you every opportunity to be right there. And you can say I'll give you a whole hour. I'll sit back. I'll shut my mouth. I'll let you say whatever you want to say. You know what the problem is? Nobody ever takes me up on it. So when they made the great switch, when the Democrats came in and said, well, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to be part of America. We're going to do it wrong. We're going to treat you like shit. We're not gonna give you full advantage. No, you're not getting that. But then they said that's better than what the Republicans want to give you. Oh, we'll give you a ghetto. We'll make sure you got food stamps so you can feed your family. But you got to get rid of that dude. You know that father. You got to get rid of him. That's a true story, people. I didn't make that up, did I? No, seriously. Did I just make that up? And you would think that we would be at a place where we could all be together and we can make this thing work. Because like I said on Monday, there's a guarantee out there that you and I have, we're going to die. That's a guarantee. Y'all, we ain't going to be here forever. It's just not going to happen. You and I have that in common. But here's the thing. We've got more in common. I told you guys I went to Eden Prairie and I sat down with the guy and talked to him. We talked about things we had in common. We had so much in common, it wasn't even funny. And that's the thing, is when I sit down with people and we talk about the things we have in common, we go away from the table going, wow. People, we got more in common than we do being apart. And the question I always ask is, why can't we get together and work on the things that we have in common? I can never understand why that's so hard. Because like I said before, excuse me, if you're worried about, if I want to I don't want what you have. I don't. I work for everything that I have. I've worked for it. I didn't beg nobody for nothing. I didn't steal nothing for nobody. My wife and I built this together. 37 years together. I just want us to come together so we can make things easier for, it's like my son. My son has a townhouse out in Maple, which kind of pissed me off. But you know what? The kids these days, they do what they want. But he pays a little over $2,000 for rent. It's not his place. My other son bought he made me mad too. So I kept telling him, don't buy a place over there. My other son bought a house, $300,000 house in Minneapolis. Yeah, trust me, I'm still steaming about this situation. Because like I told him, he could have easily moved to Big Lake and got a couple of acres, big, beautiful house. He could have easily moved to Elk River. He could have easily moved to someplace, Stacy, wherever. Get all that for what he paid for that house and that little bitty yard. Anyway, and as I was saying, then I got my other son who lives in Maple Grove, and they're paying like out the yang. Yeah, I trust me. I got two that gives me problems too. Don't think, be like Rev's got, Then I got my little 3 knuckleheaded. I got 2 rats, which is my 2 boy grandsons. And then I got my granddaughter, and she's my mouse. So that's what I'm fighting for, people. That's what I'm fighting for. And I just need a few people who are sick and tired and tired of this, man, to say, okay, no more. No more. But I can't get those people because we're too busy. We're too busy fighting each other because, you know, you got to be a Democrat or a Republican, which is pathetic to me. But anyway, fam, I'm over. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we're going to end the night like we always end the night, understanding and realizing that his grace and his mercy got you here. And it's his grace and his mercy that's going to keep you here. Don't ever think about it. Don't ever think that it's anything different than that. We serve a God that is good all the time. And all the time, he is good. You may not think that. Sometimes you sit there and you go, oh, God, why? Why do I have to go through this? Sometimes there's a lesson in that why. There's a lesson in that storm. There's a lesson in that tribulation. There's a lesson in that strife. Sometimes there's a lesson. And when you come out of that, you're going to sit there and go, I get it. I understand it. All he wants us to do is be one of his. All he wants us to do is take care of those who are his, right? Every once in a while, stop for 5 seconds and realize that, you know what we need to do is we need to be our brother's keeper. It's just like the 4 that had the man on the mat, and when they brought him to Jesus, they couldn't get in. And they climbed up on the roof and cut a hole in the roof, and they lowered him down. Because of their faith, that man was healed. Every once in a while, you got to have faith like that. You got to believe that the things that you do, the way you doing it, the road that you walk, the people that you help, your faith is going to make everything is okay. Your belief and understanding who God is, that's what's important. That's what's important. And what I can tell you, not what I'm thinking, not what somebody told me, what I know for a fact, that once you give over your heart, your mind, your spirit, your soul, God will do the rest. No, seriously, people, God will do the rest. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. And because of that, y'all know what happens. We smile. And y'all know what we do with those smiles. We take those smiles and go and smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Hey, fam, y'all have a good night. Peace. We'll see you soon. Oh, a dude asked me about Dexter Taylor. So, you know, we speak with Dexter when he can call. Sometimes I think they lock down the prison and Dexter's not able to call. So hopefully this Sunday, everything will be good to go. And we'll get the opportunity to speak with Dexter Taylor. If you don't know who Dexter Taylor is, he's a man that was basically railroaded in New York. He was building an AR-15. The state of New York said that he had did something wrong. They gave him a 10-year sentence, and he's sitting in prison right now. And usually on Sundays, Dexter call in. We're able to talk to him and things of that sort and see how his week is going and see how things are going, right? So we got Dexter Taylor. Also, we got a guy right here in Minnesota. His name is Philip Vance. He is in the prison in Rush City, who was railroaded at 16 years old. So we're still working with him and everything to try to get him out of prison. He should not be in there. So those are the things that we're kind of working on right now. So anyway, hey, y'all have a good night. We will more than likely see you on Friday, God willing. Peace, fam. I'm out.